Worms Armageddon is a two-dimensional turn-based strategy game released in 1999 on Windows, Sega Dreamcast, and PlayStation along with the N64 in 2000. Developed by Team 17, a small British video game company, Worms Armageddon is the third game in the long-standing series of Worms video games. Team 17 was formed in the early 90s when the company 17-Bit Software and some game devs named Team 7 joined forces. They started out publishing computer games for the Amiga line of computers made by Commodore. This produced many successful games such as Full Contact, Alien Breed, Project X, and Body Blows. The original idea for the first Worms game came from outside of Team 17 by game designer Andy Davidson. In those days, the artillery genre of video games was extremely popular. They usually involved tanks firing at each other at a distance, and the challenge came from calculating the angle and trajectory of the shell to destroy your opponent before he destroys you. Andy Davidson was working on his own artillery game for fun in 1993. Borrowing elements from another game popular at the time called Lemmings, he received so much positive feedback he decided to try and publish it. Andy switched everything from Lemmings into Worms to avoid getting sued, called it Total Wormage, and went to the European Computer Trade Show in 1994 where Team 17 agreed to work on the game and release it. The game was renamed again to Worms and released in 1995 and 96 on several platforms. It became very popular with millions sold worldwide, even outselling the original Tomb Raider. Many sequels of Worms games would come later, including 3D versions in the 2000s, but the game I will be covering for the rest of this video is Worms Armageddon. Gameplay consists of teams of worms in hilariously violent combat using a large arsenal of weaponry ranging from standard weapons like the shotgun all the way to the bizarre, such as a concrete donkey which falls from the sky, explosively pounding its way straight down through the map. The last team of worms standing wins. Team 17 has commonly released patches for this game for many years. The latest was in March of 2013. Patch 3.7. It decreased loading times and added a lot more options including better screen resolution, fixing bugs, and more advanced setting. Now there's a developer that cares. 14 years after that game came out, they release a patch for it. I've never heard of patches for a game that old. To check what version you have, go to the main menu and put your cursor over the Worms logo. Worms Armageddon features single-player, multiplayer online, and multiplayer hot seat, where you can play against your friends on the same computer, switching seats each turn. The single-player mode features 4 game types: a randomly generated game against the computer, training exercises, missions, and death matches. There are 6 training exercises to test your skills in the use of weapons and techniques to destroy your targets and increase your time. Earning gold in all exercises will take a lot of tries and patience, but is possible. The pivotal exercise is basic training, which has to be beaten to advance in the missions. There are 33 missions. They very loosely follow a general storyline with objectives like capture a secret weapon crate, survive rising waters, or simply eliminate the enemy. You are usually given a limited supply of weapons and must be innovative and resourceful to succeed. In most video games, the missions generally get tougher as you progress, but that is not true with Worms. The infamous Eiffel Tower mission, where you have to strategically shoot arrows while under enemy fire to scale the top, is only the 9th mission and is one of the most difficult. Your medal for beating a mission is determined by the number of attempts. If you win with 0 previous attempts, you get a gold. 1 attempt is silver, and so on. The reason for this is after every attempt, the mission gets easier and you are provided more weapons and more time. Every time you beat a mission, the attempt counter resets to 0. The final section of single player is death matches. Starting at the bottom rank, you battle teams of AI-controlled worms. Each time you win and advance your rank, the skill and number of worms you have to face increases. Losing a game bumps you down a ranking. There are 20 rankings from absolute beginner to elite. The later rounds are extremely challenging. The games turn into brutal and highly tactical chess matches of attrition. I have made it to the ranking of Major, the 16th ranking. For the next game I have 4 worms and get to battle 10 worms. 4 at the best skill level of 5, 4 at the skill level of 4, and 2 at level 3.